everybody, it is Jessie over at Grace and Truth Ministries. Today I am going to show you how I set up my Bible study time, what it looks like, and what kind of way that I use my resources to get the best out of my study in the Word. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of show you what my routine looks like. Usually it's early in the morning, around I'd say like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll sit down depending on my schedule. Sometimes I have a good solid like hour, sometimes I only have like 20 minutes, so it really just depends and it varies each day. And I think that's important to give yourself like that flexibility because everybody's lives is a little bit different. Anyway, this right here is my Bible cart. So it kind of has like stuff that I use both for journaling, because I do journal, as well as my Bible study itself. And then I have my whole little like, I don't know, like little shelf area over here that I just keep stuff on too. So my house is really, really small, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I feel like small living can be really, really good. I've had big houses, I've had small houses, and I feel like, yeah, it's all good. But what you have to do, or what you have to be able to do, is have multi-purpose or multifunctional spaces. So my dining room also kind of serves as like my craft room slash study area, office kind of thing, if you will. So usually I start by putting this little guy out. This thing is incredibly useful. I use it pretty much every time. Sorry, do you see this right here? I don't know how to explain it other than sometimes I get like, I collect mushrooms and stuff in the woods, and I put a mushroom, I made a mistake, I put a mushroom on my table and it like got fungus spores or something in it. Anyways, so this is what I'll start with, and then I also usually have some kind of beverage. Right now I'm trying to boost my immunity. It's like negative 25 degrees where I am right now, and super easy to get sick. So I've been taking a ton of like ginger juice and immunity juice. Right now I'm drinking kale, all that kind of stuff. So this is my Bible that I used last year. It's the one that has my last 2 years worth of study notes in it. So I put this up here because I'm transcribing my notes to my new Bible, so that I'll have like 3 years worth of notes in. So I'll lay that out, and then I kind of come over here and I grab my current Bible, and then I grab this journal package, which is just my extended study notes. If you've seen a video that I had before, which I can link, I talk about how to take your study notes and notate them in your Bible. So I will definitely link that in this video. But this is the Bible that I'm currently using for studying. It's the Illustrating Bible. And I kind of set this here because that's my working document. And then I grab these guys. Sorry, I journal too, so it's got paintbrushes and stuff in it too. But these are my Tombow and Stadletter markers, and those are what I use for highlighting in my Bible. Thematically, I color code stuff. It's just easier for my brain. And then I will grab this guy right here. This is the study Bible that I'm using this year. So it's the Archaeological Study Bible. Last year, my study Bible that I used was this one, which is the MacArthur Study Bible. And then the year before that, I used this one, and that's because that was the year that I was saved, and this is the Bible that I had. And I just want to say, okay, if there's like any awesome tip or strategy that you can use, that you can take away from this video, it's this. When I first got saved, I was in this like ministry group where this guy was talking about what he does for his study, and he said that every year, as like a present to himself, he will get a new study Bible to study from. So that way, as you're like accumulating your Bible collection, what you're doing though, or what you're really doing, is digging into different perspectives of notes. You're learning different things about passages. You're gathering like different resources, different information. Like right now, everything that I'm kind of adding to my study notes in my Bible is all archaeological based things that some of it was a duplicate. John MacArthur's information is pretty comprehensive, but some of the commentary, doesn't have everything. I mean, let's be honest, how can any one commentary like have everything there is to know about the Bible? So if you do I said do I'm sorry, I'm such a child sometimes. But if you do study the Bible every year, what you will find is that having those additional commentaries just gives you a more complex and rich perspective on how you're doing things. So yeah, then I will grab from over here like a pen, and I'll grab one of these guys, and sometimes I have to wear my little like blue light glasses because my eyes are really wonky. And let's see what else. Is there anything else I grab? No, I think that's it. Okay, so then from there, at the beginning of my Bible, I have my current study plan. So I would just want to say, for the record, the previous 2 years that I did study, I didn't use a study method like that. I just paced myself and was able to complete it, reading it in a year without any sort of process. But I wanted to try something different this year, and this is a chronological study, so it's a 5-day chronological, so it gives me a plan for each day. And then I like that because on the day 6 and day 7, I'm able to just study whatever I want to study thematically on the weekends. So I use this Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I just do what I want to study. There is one more thing that I will incorporate in the mornings, and that's my prayer journal. And I'm not going to open it and get into it today because I feel like I can just show you guys that on a different video. But I will kind of start my prayer time, or my study time, with a prayer, intentional prayer for the day, kind of asking God for his guidance, that sort of thing. And then I do have one other, I'm not going to pull it out right now. I apologize. I was working on painting the cover. I painted that cover. I'm painting a different one, and it's wet, so I don't really want to take it off. But I do have a separate Bible that I'm using, not for note-taking, but just for journaling anytime God talks to me through his word, or anytime I'm led to a word, or if I just want to reflect on a passage, I'll write down my prayer thoughts in that. So, okay, so then there's this journal plan. Sorry, I don't know why my phone keeps going out of blurry. And then this is my themes that I have chosen to color different things. And I chose, seriously? Okay. And I chose ones that are important to me. For instance, y'all might not care about plants, but I love plants. Plants are actually how God brought me to my faith. That might be another video. But I can tell you most people find that information a little on the boring side. But I love herbalism. And right now I'm taking a new plant to help kind of stabilize my immunity, to boost my metabolism, to help improve my cognition and focus. And it's actually an amazing plant. I think it's called Russian Eleuthero. Excuse me, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but if it's consistently taken like 4 to 6 weeks leading up to the illness season, in Russia, individuals who take it consistently will have a 95% success rate of not getting the flu or the cold during the season. And I feel that God has so divinely placed like plants in regions and in climates where you live to help your bodies adapt and to help kind of keep you in that way. So yeah, these are just a couple notes that like I kind of remind myself for how I want to do it. So from there, I will go through and select like what I'm doing. So for instance, today was Exodus 4:6 and Galatians 6. So I will just pop over to Galatians because I did just like finish my study when I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this video. Okay, so I will open my Bible up to where I'm going to study, and then I also open up this sucker. Oh, excuse me, I probably shouldn't say that. To the passage, and it's kind of nice because, sorry, this is really hard to do when you're holding your phone. Don't ask me why I didn't actually just, oh, that's why it's not working. Okay, so then I'll just put this little guy to hold it like in place, which is pretty awesome. And then like as I turn the page, I can flip it, and then I set up my study Bible as well. So that guy is all set up. Oh my gosh. Do you know, like, okay, I've been reading the Bible for like 3 years now. I still don't know where the books are in order. I don't think I'm ever going to know that. And I'm not really that worried about it. You know, I'm not a theologian. I'm not going to get all like naysay and rigid about stuff, because God is a God that loves all of us and our shortcomings, in our successes, in all of the things we're good at, and he sees me, man. He knows my heart. He knows what gifts he gave me and what gifts he didn't give me, and memory for stuff like that. That wasn't what he gave me. So, okay, so now I'm all set up. So yeah, this is kind of how I'll go through, and I'll take notes, like as an example. This is a note that I took from my study Bible, the anthropological one, specifically about what the ancient Greek word for mark is. And I thought that was interesting because I didn't catch that in any of the other studies that I had done in the previous years. But it is interesting because it says, "From now on, let no one trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Jesus." And I feel like that's kind of an amazing passage to think about, because oftentimes we connect the mark to Revelations, as you know, when the mark of the beast comes. But then you also have to think about how, you know, when the plagues were coming and things like that, God marked his people to keep them safe and to identify them as his. And so I think that's kind of a beautiful thing to understand, that mark actually means branding of slaves or animals. And I feel like that's an interesting piece of information that just kind of added more depth and complexity to the word. And that's really, truly what I look for when I'm studying. Oh, see, now I'm sitting down. Now you can see my view from like what it looks like when I'm working. I love Bible study. But yeah, so that's, to me, kind of some interesting parts about, you know, when you take these multiple things and you kind of bring them over to like one larger compacted version of your study. Now you've got all of the layers of the things that you've done, and I kind of like that. The other thing I was going to show you is like this being that it's from the first 2 years, there'll be like little post-its in here of questions or things that I've come across. Some of them will be dated. I try to date them. Sometimes I forget to. But I will take these and I will place them in here so that this kind of stuff follows over here, and then it's just like has everything that I've ever documented. So yeah, that is how I go through my study. And I think I mentioned I was doing the 5-day chronological. But sometimes like I get really frustrated because, as an example, today I did not finish in the morning. I just couldn't wake up in time, and I had to get my kids out the door on time. Now tomorrow I'm going to be, I'm a director at a daycare, and I'm going to have to open it at like 6 a.m. And so I'm not going to have time to study at that time. So that just means that I will have to go through this process like in the afternoon or the evening. So that's the other thing, is like if you don't get through what you want to, if you don't get in full depth, take your time, come back to it. One of the things that I like to do sometimes is make little tabs that say like, this specifically is something I want to be more in depth on. I know I came across, in the, oh my gosh, brain work. Exodus. In the Exodus right now, in the plagues, there's a parallel to the plagues that I think also parallels prophecy and some of the plagues that, or acts that happen in both Revelation and in some of the other books of the Bible that are prophetic or judgments. And so when I see stuff like that and I want to dig a little deeper, that's where I'll take this guy out. And in here I've got 3 journals. This top one is for specifically anything that I'm studying regarding marriage and families. So the curse of marriage and obedience. Oh yeah, maybe I'll have to share those notes sometime. But yeah, anything that I'm like studying specifically for marriage and families, I wanted to keep that separate. It was a goal that I had for the year. I'm not going to share this. It's more personal. But then this is my like everything notes, anything that I'm studying currently, that I'm taking more in-depth focus on. I'll put in here. Like this one is the names of God. I've just been keeping a list of them. And yeah, so I'll keep this nearby because sometimes I might want to jump into something a little bit bigger, and then I'll put that in here. So there you have it. That is my study methodology and my little finger. I'm sorry. You guys, thank you for coming by, because truth be told, a lot of times I've just, I do what I can because I love Jesus and I love studying his word, and I really truly do like sharing with you guys tips and strategies, because I feel like everybody should have such a like desire in a relationship to be in the word, but I know it can be intimidating and it can be hard to decide like what's going to work for me and how do I want to do this. And I feel like as I go through those questions in my head and I come up with things that I'm like, oh, I love this, you guys, I want to be able to make that burden for everybody else a little bit easier to go through. However, that said, I did not promise to be like perfectionistic, because I'm definitely not. So thank you for bearing with me as I share this with y'all, and I hope everyone has a beautiful and blessed day, and I pray that you have wonderful insights when you dig into the word. And please feel free to drop in the comments below, like if you end up trying some of these methods that I shared, if you end up getting like a book holder, if you try a new study Bible, if you journal, like what do you do in your studies? I want to know that too, because I love hearing what people do. I literally look that up on YouTube all the time because I want to see, what are systems that work for other people? Maybe it'll work for me too. And mostly I just pray that, God talks to you through the Word. So thanks again for coming, and have a wonderful day.